Alright, so Edge here with the Viewsonic G-Tab. Looking at a video on CNN on their website. As you can see, it's pretty smooth. The reason I'm looking at this video is because I want to do a comparison of the G-Tab with the iPad. Like I said before, I was going to do a comparison between the G-Tab and the iPad, and I happen to have them sitting right here. So what I've got is my daughter's iPad, and real quickly, that one video we were just watching over there, for whatever reason, I'd have to mess with this and do something with it later. So anyway, let's take a look at the iPad real quick. I think you've seen probably a billion videos about the iPad. You know that it's got the iPod the iPod connector on the bottom, speaker. There's the 3.5mm headphones, microphone, power, rocker for the volume, and a lock, and aluminum body. Screen is got really nice viewing angles on it. No matter which way you turn it, it is really nice. The device, you know, when you turn it, it scales really nicely and turns really easily. Let's see. Sorry, I'm having to unlock it. She password protects this thing. So, when it comes to the UI, it's very fluid, and you know, it moves back and forth very easily, very quickly. When you start the browser, you know, it comes up pretty quickly. And you know, here we're looking at CNN. When we go to the G-Tab, do a comparison on hardware, we have a proprietary dock on the a dock port on the bottom that apparently Viewsonic has said they're going to be releasing a dock for, which allow you to connect this device to a TV with HDMI. And there's according to things I've read online, that the dock will also have power and a USB port or two, and a USB, HDMI, power. Oh yeah, and an RJ45 connector for networking. Your standard 4 buttons from Android devices. Speaker. Going to the top here, we have volume, rocker, and then we have the front-facing camera right there, a light sensor right there, and then right over here, underneath this little cover is, I just turned my device off, but that's fine. I'm trying to get this at this crazy finger angle. I'm right-handed, and I'm trying to do this left-handed, which is kind of ridiculous. I'll probably end up breaking this device doing this. Alright, so right in here we've got the USB port, micro SD card slot. I have a micro SD card in there right now that it does recognize and see. Mini USB, another speaker, 3.5mm headphone jack, and power. Unlike the iPad, the case on this is plastic on the back, 4 screw holes behind these little rubber things that cover it up. One really big G-Tablet logo that I'm not very fond of. I don't care if it says Viewsonic. I really don't mind that people know what this is. But pretty easy to open up if you ever had to. When we turn it on, as you can see, it pops up pretty quickly. Now, of course, one of the big differences when you look at the UI on the... Let's hold it this way so I don't accidentally keep powering this thing off. The UI on this iPad, while fast and responsive, it's kind of boring. I mean, all you've got is icons. You know, you don't have a choice of anything else. Icons, 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 icons. Screens and screens and screens full of icons. On the G-Tablet, as you well know, you have widgets. This is Android 2.2 to be exact. You've got widgets. You've got other screens you can do, and you have 5 of those screens to customize if you want to. On top of that, you want to have just your regular view, just like you would maybe on a iPad, well, there you go. You've got screens and screens and, you've got all the scrolling you want. Now, I could make this act like an iPad and have it scroll horizontally using ADW Launcher, and I can configure it that way, but I'll be honest, I don't like that. So I've got mine set up to do vertical scrolling. Anyway, when it comes to a browser, as you see, the browser comes up pretty quickly there. I don't know what the video is here that's supposed to be loading or whatever. Feature for feature, I mean, going through and trying app by app to app on these two devices would probably take a bit of time. Email on the iPad, if you want to see what it looks like. I don't want to show my daughter's emails, but the email app on the iPads are really, really slick. Very nice. I do prefer its email application to the one on the G-Tablet. But the nice thing is that I think that's going to be remedied here very soon, because there's going to be more and more tablet applications written for the G-Tablet, as well as for all the other Android tablets out there. I think it's just a matter of time. Size-wise, as you can see, when you put them next to each other, the G-Tablet is longer, but thinner. The screen is thinner. In terms of the amount of space on the side around the screens, it's not really that bad on either device. They're both really, really nice devices. Both of them browse the internet exceptionally well. Both of them handle videos exceptionally well. Both of them handle media exceptionally well. Both of them have a very different approach in their philosophy for what end users should and should not be able to do. Google, with their Android operating system, thinks it's okay, and even above that, they encourage modifications, customizations, and all the different flavors that you see there. Apple, on the other hand, locks down their UI very strictly and does not like people to customize things too much or change things too much. Doesn't like people hacking their stuff. I think it's ironic, considering the fact that Apple was started by a couple folks who loved experimenting and loved hacking things together, and but there you go. Anyway, the viewing angles on the screens, I'll admit, on the iPad, the blacks don't do that weird silvering reflection type thing as much as the Android or as much as the Viewsonic G-Tablet does. But when I use my tablet, it's in front of me. I'm not looking at it at weird angles, and if other people are trying to look at my stuff, that's their problem. If I'm next to someone, showing them what's on my device, everything shows up just fine, and there's no problems. If somebody from across the room wants to see my tablet, they'll have to come over to me. I don't know how much we can really compare. I've got one of the biggest things is to have them next to each other, so you can see that yes, there they are. That you can see the size difference between the two a little bit better. Perhaps get a better understanding for the somewhat more. Really, it's a landscape-friendly screen on the G-Tablet versus the iPad, which is more of like a piece of paper, a standard piece of paper you'd write on. Now, there's, I'm not gonna, knock the iPad for its screen size. I think that it works really well. I think that the dimensions are really pretty nice, and the applications that are on it are really, really nice as well. Very well done. The default apps that come with the iPad are just pretty amazing. The default apps that come with the G-Tab, that come with the standard TNT firmware right out of the box, stink. It is more work to make the G-Tablet as functional as the iPad. It does take work. However, if you put in that time and effort and you put in that work, you're rewarded with a tablet that I think is infinitely more customizable, infinitely has more hacking capability, and in the long run, I think will turn out to be the device that has more applications written for it, and It's just a matter of time. Right now we're in the infancy of the Android tablets. This is the very beginning. It's the Wild West. I mean, there's literally, firmware being written almost daily, or hacks or mods or changes and discoveries being made all the time. And if you want to be in on something from the very, very ground floor, this is the way to do it. The G-Tablet is outstanding hardware. It's really cutting edge. Yes, there's other stuff out there like the Notion Ink tablet that's going to be coming out sometime soon. It's a great piece of hardware with some outstanding UI work done. I think that's going to be the first Android tablet that you can buy and use right out of the box and have it be a phenomenal machine. This device is great hardware, almost to that level. However, to really make it shine, you've got to put in the effort. But fortunately, it's not hard, and I think that it'll really pay off in the end. So, I don't know. You got a little bit of my philosophy, I guess, between the iPad and the G-Tablet. You also got a little bit of my views on which device I think has the better hacking ability. I don't know. Maybe it's not as great a video for a feature-to-feature comparison. But I think what a lot of people really want to see is just kind of what they look like next to each other. And, if let me get this open again. When you see them on next to each other, and it gives you an idea of the comparison between the two. I could run videos on both, but let's face it, you can go online and watch videos being played on an iPad, and I've played videos on the G-Tablet. I've shown a lot of the different features of the G-Tablet, and the iPad has a lot of videos on there, on YouTube and elsewhere as well. So, at least you see that I've got the two here. When I talk about the differences between the two, it's because I have had my hands on them, and it's not based on anything I've read or anybody else's opinion. So anyway, that's it for this somewhat slipshot comparison of the G-Tablet and the iPad. Leave me your comments, and I will read them and get back to you. Once again, I appreciate all the feedback and the really awesome stuff you guys have been sending me and saying to me. Alrighty, everyone. Edge out.